good hair. Nappy hair sucks. You should get a perm. And I've had like a lot of things happen to me. Like, for example, in high school, I'll be in the lunch line, and white guys, not to be racist, would come up to me and they'll be like, Shaniqua, hey girl, what's your name is? How you doing, boo? And mostly it was boo, because I guess that's what everybody says. And they'll be trying to holler at me because it's like a prank from their friends, and it's like, I'll be like, why are you talking to me like that? Or when I'm in line, or if I bump somebody when I'm going down the sidewalk, I'm going to beat them up because they bumped my shoulder. Which is really ignorant, because there's a million people in if you've gone to Seminole High School, there's like too many students there. And for me to get mad at somebody for bumping me in the shoulder is really stupid. I feel like people go by stereotypes because it's like Pacific people act that way, and they're loud, and they're obnoxious, and they're annoying. You can hear them all the way across the yard. It's really stupid. But then there's people, who are just like, like themselves. Like, every race has their stereotypes and stuff. Every race has, like, different stuff. So it's not cool to say that I act a certain way because I'm African American. I've had situations when I've gone to stores, and, like, I went to a prom store, and I was going to steal something out the prom store, I guess, because one of the black girls was watching me, I guess, because she was in a fancy place, a bridal place, and I guess she was like, she's black, so she's going to steal. I don't know if I was supposed to put a dress in my purse or something, but it was really weird and annoying, and I left and I bought nothing out of there.
Have you ever had a situation where your gender and your race has affected you? Being a girl and being African American?
No, not really. I'm pretty tough. So people expect it from me. I live with my father, so people expect me to be tough. So I don't know. I think it's really racist. They think people come from the ghetto and stuff like that because you're black. But I have nothing else to say.
Wait, so you live in like a regular house? You don't live in the ghetto or the project?
No, I don't live in a house, but I live in a really nice apartment. I don't know how to say it, but it's right by the hospital, Regatta Shores, or Regatta Shores. I live in those apartments. They're really nice. I've never lived in the ghetto. My dad is a truck driver, and I have both from my parents. They're not together, but I have two loving parents. And I have a sister, and I'm not ghetto. I'm sick of people stereotyping me as that.
Hi, my name is Sagar Patel, and I'm here to talk about how social stratification has affected my life. Ever since I was really little, my race has always been a big factor in how I was treated in society. I remember the earliest time I ever really dealt with racism, I was about 3 years old on the playground at toddler school. And I was playing with a friend, and this other kid came up to me and he told me that we couldn't play together because he was white and I was brown. Now at the time I was 3 years old. I didn't know what racism was. I didn't understand it. So I just kind of accepted it, and I walked away and went and played with some other kids. But I look back on it now and I realize how messed up that was, and what had happened there. But small things like that have happened throughout my life. Especially after 9/11, it became really difficult to be a brown guy. This was about a year after 9/11. I think I was 8 years old. And my family was on a vacation to India. And in the airport, me and my brother got stopped. And we got pulled aside, and we went through like extra security. And it was one of those random terrorist inspections. But, they patted us down, gave us the whole metal detector wand, went through all our luggage, and it was a lot of unnecessary stuff. I mean, I was 8 years old and my brother was 12. But things like that have always happen. But yeah, a lot of small things like that. But for the most part, I never really let it affect me too much. I mean, like school-wise, I kind of got along with everyone. I don't think there was any one particular group or clique that really ostracized me because of my race. But yeah, for the most part, I got along with everyone. I hung out with jocks, hung out with nerds, rich kids, poor kids, skaters. I got along with most people. But occasionally there was always that one just idiot who would say something incredibly stupid and ignorant. Like, for example, when I was in high school, I think this was my junior year. Anyway, I'm eating lunch with some friends, and this kid comes up to me, and he's one of those wannabe redneck kids, you know, wears woodland camo everywhere he goes. There's a tin of dip in the back pocket, walks around with a fat pinch and a dip bottle everywhere. Anyway, so I'm eating a burger, and he comes up to me and goes, "Hey, you're eating beef. Isn't that against Allah? Aren't you going to go to hell and not get your 72 virgins?" And in my initial reaction, I was just like, no one's this stupid. So I look at him and I turn around, seriously? And he goes, "Yeah, aren't you a dothead?" I was just like, oh god. He is this stupid. So then I have to explain to him, and I'm like, well, first off, Muslims can't eat pork. Secondly, Muslims aren't dotheads. Dotheads are Hindus, which I am, so at least you got that part right. And the whole not eating beef thing isn't really a rule, it's just kind of frowned upon. So yeah, I can still eat beef. Anyway, so then this kid says, well, all you terrorists look the same to me. At that point I was just like, you gotta be kidding me. And he's just trying to start something. So I was just like, oh, that's nice. And then I just turn away and start talking to my friend. And he turns around and he says something like, oh, just don't follow me or anything. And I was like, oh yeah, that's real funny. Not as funny as your future alcoholism and spousal abuse, but pretty funny. And then he just says some more random, oh, you're a dumb terrorist, blah blah blah. And I just start ignoring him, sitting there with talking to my friend. Eventually he just walks away because he realizes he's not going to get a reaction out of me. You know, I try not to let my social class or ethnicity affect me that much. You know, those are small things. You can't let them define you. You know, they're going to affect you. You can't help that. But don't let it define who you are. You know, if you want something, find a way to get it and work toward it. That's all you can do. I'm done.
Hi there, I'm Jeremiah Farrow. Stratification to me is the division of all people, and it doesn't matter if it's by race, ethnicity, skin color, or just because the clothes you wear are different than someone else's. For me, the big thing's always been money. I was born on January 1st, 1993. In Espanola, New Mexico. I was me and my twin brother, born at the same time, and we were born to my loving mother. About a year after we were born, my dad left. I haven't seen him since, no contact with him. I plan on meeting him eventually. But since then, my mom's done the best she could. And if it wasn't the absolute best, then she made do with what she had. For instance, when we were little, we didn't have much money. My mom had been working as a maid, so she couldn't really afford cribs. It was cribs or food, so we chose food. So instead, what she did was she put my brother and I in a cardboard box to sleep. And it sounds bad, but it was padded and everything, and I was just a little baby, so I barely remember it. From there, our money situation got a little better. We ended up moving in with my grandma in Kentucky, and it was easier because it was two adults to pay the bills, and me and my brother were just running around being kids. And it's pretty much been that way, not necessarily living with my grandma, but maybe a tough financial situation, living right below my means. It's been that way up until about last year. Last year, on September 5th, I got T-boned by a car. My friends and I had decided to go get breakfast really early in the morning, and as we were coming back to my house, a guy ran at a stoplight and hit us. Luckily, my brother was the only person in the car severely hit or injured. He had a broken collarbone, which sucks, but he got over it. Everyone else was, for the most part, okay, but the medical bills definitely started piling up. Just from my brother's ambulance ride to the hospital, which was about 10 minutes, cost him about $1,500. They had to take x-rays and everything. That was more money. And in addition to that, I've been having back problems, which is another drain, and especially for medical bills. The worst part about all this is the guy who hit us was underinsured, so his insurance isn't picking up very much. We've been left to pick up most of it or fight for what we should rightly have. I myself just finished my last doctor's visit for my back, and I should be getting some money here shortly. But it's not necessarily about the money for me. It's more about the justice, because I even plan on being a teacher. Money's not the most important thing to me. It's another thing that separates us, so why have more of it? I'd rather spend it on the people I care for.
Hi, my name is Ashley. I'm 19 years old, and I'm going to talk to you about gender stratification. I do live in a single parent home. It's just my mom. My dad decided to bail right before I was born, and I later found out it was because I was a female. He had no problem sticking around for the first 2 years of my brother's life, but when my mom got pregnant again and he found out that I was a girl, he wanted nothing to do with it. So my mom took the best interest for her kids and decided to leave, and we moved in with my grandma and grandpa, and for as long as I could remember, I've been here. For 19 years, I've lived in the same house, same room. I haven't really seen much change. My grandpa did pass away a couple years ago, so my mom does take care of my grandma now. She pays her car payments, she pays everything in the house, whether it's the rent, the water, the cable, the internet bill. My mom does it all. My aunt and my cousin also live with us, so it's kind of a madhouse 24/7. But it's taught me that I basically have to fight for what I want. Like, I have to fight for my mom's attention. I have to fight for anything in this house that I basically want. So I learned from a very early age. I got a job. I started saving up. Everything that I have, whether it's the clothes on my back or the car that I drive, I've bought it. And people say that I'm very unlucky because I've had to work so hard from such a young age, but it's pretty much made me who I am. For as long as I could remember, my mom just works. She works from home, so she wakes up at 4 o'clock in the morning and she'll work till 11:30 at night, and she'll do it again and again. She jokes around that she lives at her computer desk, and inside I know it bothers her. I know that she wishes she didn't have to work so hard, and I do too. I feel like a part of me is missing my mom because she's always working. But it just makes me appreciate her so much more. Knowing that she's working, she doesn't have to work as hard, but the more she works, the more money she brings in, and the more money she brings in, she knows she could provide for us better. And I 100% respect her for that. I have no doubt in my mind that my mom does it for our best interest. She is my role model, she is my hero, and I look up to her 110%. And one day, I want to be able to do that for my kids. I want to be able to provide for them and do anything that they need, and that is because of my mom. Because I look up to my mom so much, and I don't want to say I feel sorry for her, but I just wish that I could do more. I wish that, like, there was something I could do where she didn't have to work as hard, and I try really hard when I work and I bring home the money, like, I'll give her some to make things easier for her. But I know in the long run, it's only putting a dent in everything that she has to do, but it still makes me feel better. Because of my mom, I am a stronger woman. Because of my mom, I am a more independent woman. Because of my mom, I know I will be a better person in the long run. Not just a woman, a better person, a more well-rounded person. Because of my mom, I don't feel like women like her get enough respect. I feel like men are viewed as the caretakers. They are viewed as the people bringing home the money, taking care of the family. The women are just seen as the ones taking care of the household, taking care of the kids, and I disagree with that 110%. My mom pays the bills, she cleans the house, she takes care of the kids, she takes care of her sister, she takes care of her nephew, and she takes care of her mother. She does all this on a daily basis, and she's been doing it for my entire being in the last 19 years. I feel like women like my mother deserve a lot more respect and deserve a lot more credit than they're given. And because of that, I will become like her one day. I will be just as independent as her. I will fight to get the respect that women like her need. Women, I know way more women who deserve so much more respect than they're given. And I hope one day things will change.